we're just trying a new lighting technique here. We'll have to see if we like it or not.
Right. We're currently right in my face, but never mind.
We just
I don't know.
kinda-
I've got like the light on, but anyway,
Okay.
it's like David Bailey.
David Bailey. Okay.
All right.
Reading from the
Canto
Bhagavatam.
4, Chapter 8, Text 42.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Alright, text 42. My dear boy, I therefore wish all good fortune for you. You should go to the bank of the Yamuna, where there is a virtuous forest named Madhuvan, and there be purified. Just by going there, one draws nearer to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who always lives there. Purport. Both Narada Muni and Suniti, the mother of Dhruva Maharaj, advised Dhruva Maharaj to worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Now Narada Muni is especially giving him directions how this worship of the Supreme Person can very quickly fructify. He recommends that Dhruva Maharaj go to the bank of the Yamuna, where there is a forest of the name Madhuvan, and begin his meditation and worship there. So, see here that in order to have your meditation enhanced, it's good to be around holy people, and it's good to go to holy places, sanctified places, and this increases the potency of the process, because the environment is sanctified. Hence Srila Prabhupada opened so many temples, because as he said, these are looking at, because he said these are embassies of the spiritual world.
Okay, sorry, I was paying attention to what you were saying. And with that light, it's easier to look at you than it is at the,
Oh really? Alright.
This is interesting because this is occurring most likely in Satya Yuga. And so therefore in Satya Yuga there's a Jamuna and there's a Madhavan forest. But Krishna has not appeared in that age yet, in that day of Lord Brahma, I guess. But he doesn't appear in Satya Yuga anyway as Krishna. So, but it's still an auspicious place, the Jamuna and Madhavan forest, which is interesting. And it's even more interesting. I was just hearing a friend from India sent me a picture the other day of, I think it's called Dhruv Stal or Dhruv Stali, something like that. It's basically the place in Madhuvan where Krishna performed, or where Dhruva Maharaj performed his austerities. So it actually exists there when you go to Vrindavan. Some of you, if you've been there, you can raise your hand, you can put it down there. If you've got pictures, share them with us, please. Trying to get, work some interaction with the group here. Okay. Places of pilgrimage, as you were saying, yield a special advantage for a devotee in quickly advancing his spiritual life. Lord Krishna lives everywhere, but still it is very easy to approach him in holy places of pilgrimage, because these places are inhabited by great sages. Lord Krishna says that he lives wherever his devotees are chanting the glories of his transcendental activities. There you go. You don't even need to go to a holy place. This is a holy place right here, right now. Right here, right now. So there are many places of pilgrimage in India, and especially prominent are Badri Narayan, Dwarka, Rameshwara, and Jagannath Puri. These sacred places are called the four dhams, so it's char dham. So in the north and the south and the west and in the east. So in the north it's Badrikashram, in the south it's Rameshwara, which is interesting because I would have thought it'd be Sri Rangam, but it's Rameshwara. In the west it's Dwarka, and in the east it's Jagannath Puri. These sacred places are called the four dhams. Dham refers to a place where one can immediately contact the Supreme Lord. To go to Badri Narayan, one has to pass through Haridwar on the path to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Similarly, there are other holy places of pilgrimage such as Prayag, Allahabad, and Mathura, and the topmost of them all is Vrindavan. Unless one is very advanced in spiritual life, it is recommended that he live in such holy places and execute devotional service there. But an advanced devotee like Narada Muni, who is engaged in preaching work, can serve the Supreme Lord anywhere. Sometimes he even goes to the hellish planets. Hellish conditions do not affect Narada Muni because he is engaged in greatly responsible activities in devotional service. According to the statement of Narada Muni, Madhuvan, which is still existing in the Vrindavan area in the district of Mathura, is a most sacred place. Many saintly persons still live there and engage in the devotional service of the Lord. So it is a real place.
Okay, final paragraph. There are 12 forests in the area of Vrindavan and Madhuvan, and Madhuvan is one of them. Pilgrims from all parts of India assemble together and visit all 12 of these forests. There are 5 forests on the eastern bank of the Yamuna: Bhadravan, Bulvavan, Lohavan, Bandiravan, and Mahavan. On the western side of the bank there are 7: Madhuvan, Talavan, Kumudavan, Bahulavan, Kamyavan, Kandiravan, and Vrindavan. In these 12 forests there are different ghats or bathing places. They are listed as follows: Avimukta, Adiruda, Guya Tirtha, Prayaga Tirtha, Kanakala, Tinduka Tirtha, Surya Tirtha, Vatsvamsi,
Vataswami,
Dhruvagat, where there are many nice trees of fruits and flowers, is famous because Dhruva Maharaj meditated and underwent severe penances and austerities there in an elevated spot.
There you go.
Rishi Tirtha, Moksha Tirtha, Buddha Tirtha, Gokana, Krishna Ganga, Vaikuntha, Ashikunda, Chato Samudrika, Kupa, Akrura Tirtha, when Krishna and Balaram were going to Mathura in the chariot driven by Akrura. All of them took baths in this ghat. Yagnika, Vrip Rastan, Kubja Kupa, Rangasthala, Manchasthala, Malayudastana, and Dasa Vemeda.
Das Ashwamedha.
Dash Ashwamedha. So there you go. Let us know if you've been to any of these places.
Have you been to any of them?
Mm-hmm.
Which one?
Vrindavan and others. But it was, no, and others, but it was, God, it must have been, 20 years ago? I'm not joking. And I'm going to be honest, I don't remember. But we went on yatra with Radhanath Maharaj, and so we went quite a few places in buses, in Indian buses. But we did.
Okay. Text 43. Narada Muni instructed, "My dear boy, in the waters of the Jamuna River, which is known as Kalindi, you should take 3 baths daily because the water is very auspicious, sacred, and clear. After bathing, you should perform the necessary regulative principles for Ashtanga Yoga, and then sit down on your asana, a sitting place, in a calm and quiet position." 3 baths in Ashtanga Yoga, not bodily gymnastics, but practice to concentrate the mind on the Lord. So here you can see that this taking 3 baths, doing Ashtanga Yoga is being recommended by Narada Muni to help one to focus on the Lord. So it's not just for the purpose of, as I mentioned, bodily gymnastics, but it's actually for the purpose of coming closer to the Lord. Purport. It appears from this statement that Dhruva Maharaj had already been instructed how to practice Eightfold Yoga system, which is known as Ashtanga Yoga. The system is explained in our Bhagavad Gita as it is in the chapter entitled Dhyan Yoga. It is understood that in Ashtanga Yoga one practices settling the mind and then concentrating it on form of the Lord Vishnu, on the form of Lord Vishnu, as will be described in the following verses. It is clearly stated here that Ashtanga Yoga is not a bodily gymnastic exercise, but a practice to concentrate the mind on the form of Vishnu. Before sitting on his asana, which is also described in Bhagavad Gita, one has to cleanse himself very nicely in a clear or sacred water thrice daily. The water of the Jamuna is naturally very clear and pure, and thus if anyone bathes there 3 times, undoubtedly he will be very greatly purified externally. Narada Muni therefore instructed Dhruva Maharaj to go to the bank of the Jamuna and thus become externally purified. This is part of the gradual process of practicing mystic yoga. Interesting. This is part of the gradual process of practicing mystic yoga.
To first be clean externally.
Yeah, but I don't think Prabhupada means there, and I know it sounds like, I think. I don't think Prabhupada is really talking about mystic yoga. I think he's talking about bhakti. But he's saying, I think sometimes he uses buddhi, and he says, Krishna is the supreme mystic, but yeah.
Okay.
Anyway. Okay. What?
We just wait for you while you're yawning.
Well, I was looking and yawning at the same time, but I was looking to see if it's explained. I mean, Ashtanga Yoga is mentioned several times, but Prabhupada very clearly states that it's not mental gymnastics. It's not just for gymnastics' sake. It's actually to help one concentrate on Krishna. I think that's a powerful thing. Because sometimes Srila Prabhupada did criticize Ashtanga Yoga or other aspects of Hatha Yoga and things like that. And even pranayam, he would say, what is this, finger pushing or nose pushing or something like that. So, but if it's being used to help one go deeper in their meditation on Krishna, then it's bhakti. No? Yes? Yes? No? No? Yes? Okay.
Alright, takes 44.
Yeah.
After sitting on your seat, practice the 3 kinds of breathing exercises and thus gradually control the life air, the mind and the senses. Completely free yourself from all material contamination and with great patience begin to meditate on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Papa. In this verse, the entire yoga system is described in summary, and special stress is given to the breathing exercises for stopping the disturbing mind. The mind by nature is always oscillating, for it is very fickle, but the breathing exercise is meant to control it. This process of controlling the mind might have been very possible in those days millions of years ago, when Dhruva Maharaj took to it, but at the present moment the mind has to be fixed directly on the lotus feet of the Lord by the chanting process. By chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, one immediately concentrates on the sound vibration and thinks of the lotus feet of the Lord, and very quickly one is elevated to the position of samadhi or trance. If one goes on chanting the holy names of the Lord, which are not different from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, naturally his mind becomes absorbed in thought of the Lord. So here Prabhupada is basically saying, just chant Hare Krishna. And Narada Muni is explaining about going to a sacred place, sitting on a seat, practicing different types of breathing exercise, control the air, mind, senses, all this, detach yourself, control the mind. But fortunately for us, we are here in Kali Yuga, because then we can take advantage of the Maha Mantra, which does all that stuff for you in a very easy way, if you think about it,
I disagree.
Alright, let's hear your disagreement.
I disagree. I don't think it's necessarily one or the other. Still the mind needs to be controlled. Still the focus of the mind needs to be there. And it's just that instead of just doing it by breathing exercises, you do it by chanting Hare Krishna. But still the mind has to be controlled. It's not that I chant Hare Krishna and watch TV, or I chant Hare Krishna and I talk on the phone, or I chant Hare Krishna and I do this. But because I'm chanting Hare Krishna, then everything is being achieved. Prabhupada said you can chant Hare Krishna for thousands of lifetimes. We have to still actually focus our concentration on the name, pay attention to what we're doing, and try, Bhaktisiddhanta, Prabhupada said the hardest thing we should do every day is chant our rounds. It shouldn't be like Ishnika, 1 round, 2 rounds, 16, Jai Ho. It should be we really have to work at it. And Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said that, we should beat the mind with a broomstick 100 times in the morning and a shoe in the evening, 100 times with the shoe in the evening. So it's not that we just let the mind wander all over the place while we're chanting. And I really disagree. After 20 plus years of chanting Hare Krishna, I can chant Hare Krishna and do just about any old darn thing I like. But that's not the goal of chanting Hare Krishna. Chanting Hare Krishna means you have to actually focus the mind on chanting the holy name.
Alright, I don't believe I said it wasn't, but...
No, I think I get what you said, but I think that I know I misinterpreted it for many years, just thinking that. So I just chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, but it don't work.
Alright.
Something may be there, but
something.
Something.
No, because Prabhupada said even if you say laundrorama, whatever the laundry...
Yeah, there's benefit by chanting
the
Lord's holy name, but we also can commit offenses by chanting the holy names, correct?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so we have to be careful.
Alright, next paragraph.
Lord have mercy.
It is here...
it's my turn to read, I believe.
I thought you talked so much I couldn't remember.
Right. I still get my turn. It is here recommended to Dhruva Maharaj that he meditate on the Supreme Guru, or Supreme Spiritual Master. The Supreme Spiritual Master is Krishna, who is therefore known as Chaitya Guru. This refers to the Super Soul who is sitting in everyone's heart. It helps from within, as stated in the Bhagavad Gita, and he sends the Spiritual Master who helps from without. Mm-hmm. The Spiritual Master is the external manifestation of the Chaitya Guru, or the Spiritual Master sitting in everyone's heart. Yeah, that's the end of the paragraph, right?
Nope.
Huh?
It's the end of the paragraph, not the purport.
I said paragraph, yeah.
Alright, final paragraph. The process by which we give up our thoughts of material things is called pratyahara, which entails being freed from all material thoughts and engagements. The word abhidhyayat, which is used in this verse, indicates that unless one's mind is fixed, one cannot meditate. The conclusion, therefore, is that meditation means thinking of the Lord within. Whether one comes to that stage by the Ashtanga Yoga system or by the method recommended in the Shastras, especially for this present age, to constantly chant the holy name of the Lord, the goal is to meditate on the Supreme Personality of God.
Very nice. To meditate.
to always remember Krishna and never forget him. So let's not deride anyone else, because as long as we're working towards that, it's all good.
Does anyone else feel derided?
No, I don't mean in this forum, but there are other schools of meditation, I'm saying. I don't mean that.
I thought you were talking about me.
Well, there we go. And that, my dear viewers, says it all.
Yeah, it's okay.
Alright, everybody.
It's been a long days.
Thank you very much. We won't be using this light thing again because it's ridiculous.
It is.
And I can only see lights now everywhere I'm looking around the room.
But we tried. We have to make attempts.
We are
to
very
improve
trying, yes. We are very trying.
Okay, Hare
Thank
Krishna,
you,
everyone.
everybody. Jai.
Gaur Bhaktivedanta ki jai.